Hello there, my friends. It's Sean O'Connell, the managing director here at CinemaBlend, and we are working our way through all of the episodes of Game of Thrones together. I am reacting to them, giving some commentary and analysis, and you guys are going down in the comment section and telling me about all the things I'm getting wrong or are missing out on. Actually, so far, everyone's been super positive with the comments. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate the support. You guys are cheering me on, believing that I can get there before the beginning of Season 8, and I think we're going to get there. I really do think we are. We're going to give it a push. I want to take a minute before we get into Season 3, Episode 4, which is called And Now His Watch Is Ended, and it's just a big picture theory I have about Game of Thrones, which I think would be fun to put on the record right now because, you know, I'm so far from the end, but I want to give you an idea where my brain is at this point because I think about Game of Thrones a lot, like too much. And the more I think about the political positioning and the maneuvers in King's Landing and the wars between the Starks and the Lannisters and the bigger picture of the show in general, I really am coming to believe that that stuff doesn't matter. That, you know, we're constantly warned for the reason that the catchphrase of the show is winter is coming, that the bigger threat is what exists beyond the wall, right? And beyond the wall means magic for the most part, and the White Walkers and giants and things that people believe have been gone for thousands of years. Well, dragons are back, which gives Daenerys a huge advantage, and magic is back. And again, this is a quote that was used one time, like the people on the fringe will move to the center and vice versa. I think the things on the fringe right now are dragons and magic. And so my theory is that as the show continues, the people who have access to either dragons or magic are going to be the ones that are in power. So that's where I'm at now. That's where I'm at as we work our way through Season 3. That theory could be way, way off. It could actually play out partially, fully. I have no idea. But have fun in the comments. Tell me what you guys think. While you're down in the comments talking about these videos, hit subscribe. Turn on your notifications. Share these videos with a friend. If you know a friend who's trying to get through Game of Thrones and wants to have a recap before they get to Season 8, this is a great way for them to sort of go through it. Also, I have a podcast. It's called Real Blend. I do it with my friends weekly. We talk about all things movies, pop culture. If you're enjoying my analysis, go over, check out a few episodes of Real Blend, REELBLEND. So, anyway, without further ado, Season 3, Episode 4, And Now His Watch Is Ended. Oh, no, they let him keep the hand.
If I die, you won't again.
Oh, enough. Here. Can't say that I've ever seen a man drink horse piss that fast.
He's going down swinging. Give him credit for that.
Stop!
I hope we might speak. In confidence.
Always in confidence. I was going to tell you the story of how I was cut. As a boy, I travelled with a troupe of actors through the free cities. One day, in Mir, a certain man made my master an offer too tempting to refuse. With a hooked blade, he sliced me, root and stem, chanting all the while. And ever since that day, I have hated magic and all those who practice it.
See?
I feel the need for actual revenge. Against the actual person who tried to have me killed.
He threw me out of his house to die. I resolved to live. Influence grows like a weed. I tended mine patiently until its tendrils reached from the Red Keep all the way across to the far side of the world, where I managed to wrap them around something very special.
What is this gonna be?
Sorcerer.
I have no doubt the revenge you want will be yours in time.
Does he have a name?
No.
You're going to give him one?
Why?
Sacrifice. We will call him Sacrifice.
You're back, Ted.
What did you do?
I don't want your stupid symbol. I want to save my baby's life. Can you do that?
Yeah.
Can you?
Yeah, he can. Shouldn't. Can.
They said that he was...
Extraordinary. And they've had a lot of men.
We're talking about the same Podrick. And what did Littlefinger say about this loss of income?
He was too preoccupied to notice. He's leaving for the Eyrie soon.
Is that all it takes to make our friend lose interest in poor Sansa Stark?
I don't think he's lost interest. His shipboard inventory. He's bringing 2 feather beds for the cabin.
Shall we go and see them? If you give them your love, they will return it 1,000-fold.
Open the doors.
This may not go well.
Joffrey? Wait.
How far is it to Deepwood Mott?
Not far, my lord. Your sister's waiting for you there.
My sister's men are loyal to her. We don't need to hide from them.
Not all those your sister's men.
We murdered those boys, the Stark boys, and we found them.
He admits it.
Some poor orphans living with the farmer.
You have no honor, Theon Greyjoy.
I made a choice, and I chose wrong.
Yara.
Shh. Wait. I brought him back. He killed the others.
What?
Put him back where he belongs.
Why did you do that? Why did you do that? That's just cruel.
You need to live to take revenge.
I don't care about revenge.
You coward. Your misfortune, you're giving up.
Misfortune.
You lost your hand.
My sword hand. I was that hand.
Come taste of the real world. Where people have important things taken from them. And you whine and cry and quit. You sound like a bloody woman. You know what you did for me? You told them Tarth was full of sapphires. It's called the Sapphire Isle because of the blue of its water. You knew that. Why did you help me?
You wanted to speak to me.
Did it ever occur to you that I might be the one who deserves your confidence and your trust? Not your son's. Years and years of lectures on family and legacy. Did it ever occur to you that your daughter might be the only one listening to them, living by them? That she might have the most to contribute to your legacy?
I don't distrust you because you're a woman. I distrust you because you're not as smart as you think you are. You've allowed that boy to ride roughshod over you and everyone else in this city.
Perhaps you should try stopping him from doing what he likes.
I will.
I choose my allies carefully, and my enemies more carefully still.
Which is Sansa Stark.
Neither. I could not help Lord Stark. Perhaps I can help his daughter.
How?
If Robb Stark falls, Sansa Stark is the key to the north.
And if Littlefinger marries her, he'll have the key in his pocket.
But he would see this country burn if he could be king of the ashes. I believe I have a possible solution.
One doesn't need to be clever for that.
Loras.
It's rather obvious, isn't it?
I want us to be friends. Good friends. You must see Highgarden. You'd love it there, I know you would.
I don't think the Queen would let me leave King's Landing.
The Queen Regent, you mean? Once I marry Joffrey, I'll be Queen. And if you were to marry Loras...
Oh, see? I told you. No.
It's cold outside, and there's nothing to eat.
You don't like it. You go out there and eat the snow.
Heartless bastard. Revolt.
I'd rather eat what you've got hidden away.
Out! Stingy bastard! I'll chop the hands off the next man who calls me bastard.
You are a bastard. A daughter f***ing wildling bastard.
I shall have your head!
What? No.
Quickly!
What's happening? I'm not going out there.
We have to go! Now!
You look like a bunch of swineherds, and carrying a crooked spear makes you a soldier.
No, fighting in a war makes you a soldier.
Beric Dondarrion, what are you doing? Leading a mob of peasants.
You prey on the weak. The Brotherhood without banners will hunt you down.
You found God. Is that it?
Aye. I've been reborn in the light of the one true God.
You'll die soon enough, dog. But it won't be murder. Only justice. I saw them lay Prince Aegon and Princess Rhaenys before the Iron Throne.
Do you take me for my brother? Is being born Clegane a crime?
Murder is a crime.
I never touched the Targaryen babes. You want to cut my throat? Get on with it! But don't call me murderer. And pretend that you're not.
You murdered Micah, the butcher's boy.
You don't deny killing this boy.
I was Joffrey's sworn shield. The boy attacked the prince.
That's a lie. I hit Joffrey.
You stand accused of murder.
But no one here knows the truth of the charge, so it is not for us to judge you.
Only the Lord of Light may do that now.
Yeah, more with the Lord of Light.
I sentence you to trial by combat, but it's me you'll fight.
First off, that thing is not going to listen to evil Ben Kingsley. Gonna set evil Ben Kingsley on fire.
Is it done then?
Vida.
It is done.
Pero si tieni.
You hold the whip.
Espero es dia zantir.
Dovageris!
Kill that guy who has my dragon.
Vidito magis.
Of course he won't.
Zaldrizes buzdaris kosdaor. Mige Daenerys cel masmo entargeriolent Valerio Munioengos nuihis isa. Axiosentas, mentiosentas, ininini odricatas, urnelue dolhe prijatas. Dracaris.
Yes. Yes. Nice.
Dovagevis. En de jagun costas. Un dari Sirio trikilsa. Une city veli belat. Un dari valotti.
Daenerys is coming. An army and 3 dragons. Wow. That's awesome. And now his watch is ended. And the significance of that phrase is that the Night Watch has been divided officially. Mutiny amongst the ranks. This dude Craster should be feeding us, should be sheltering us, and they eventually turn on him. Even though Lord Commander tries to stop them and say, look, we're Night Watch. Can't do this. Doesn't matter. They turn on him. Sam grabs Gilly and they take off with her baby. So they're out in the wilderness now, and Sam, not the best warrior in the world. Noble, heroic, means well, but it's interesting that the Night Watch, which is the last bastion of hope on the wall between the horrificness of the North and the mainland, the Seven Kingdoms, that's now fractured, right? That's so your barrier, your guard wall is flawed, and that's going to be a big problem, I think, when the stuff from the North spills over the wall into the realm. So I brought up a point before this episode started in my analysis, which is the difference between non-magic folk and their bids for power, and how insignificant I think they are going to be versus the forces with magic, and then of course Daenerys and her forces with her dragons, right? So, and that was even more brought home to a point when Varys was talking to Tyrion about his how he lost his private parts. And he has a crate, and his story has to do with a sorcerer, and he grew to hate magic for that reason. And again, this is pitting a big, as much as it's like Stark versus Lannister, it's feeling like it's also turning into non-magic people versus magic people. And I'm going to put magic and dragons into one category. And if that battle comes to a head, which it feels like Game of Thrones could be heading in that direction, put all my money onto the magic people, because they have a lot more things going for them. So they're pursuing the subplot about Podrick's sex tricks, which I think is hilarious. Like, that's a really funny... I thought that would be a one and done. But it comes up again in this episode, which makes me think that his prowess with the harem is significant. So Podrick... salute to you, sir. Varys, meanwhile, plots against Littlefinger, right? And all of a sudden, Sansa, who's been sidelined for a couple of episodes, she's becoming the apple of two people's eye, and two people who I don't think she wants necessarily on her side, because I don't think they're on her side at all. And that's Varys, who is plotting with Grandma Tyrell, Nana Tyrell, whose name I should probably know, but I don't just yet, to say Sansa is a powerful figure and we should look out for her. Littlefinger is going to take her away with him when he goes to the Ire. And then Marjorie is going after Sansa. And Marjorie has her hooks into Joffrey, obviously, for good reason. He's the king and she can manipulate him how she wants. But she's also putting her hooks into Sansa now and saying, if you married Loras, you could be my sister and we could have a great life together in the kingdom. And she knows that Loras is not interested in women, and she knows that Sansa is easily manipulated, and Sansa is being put in a really bad spot by some really powerful people who are much better at playing the game. Marjorie's already proven to be much better at playing the game than most people in King's Landing, and Sansa doesn't even know that there's a game going on, it seems. Although she tried to manipulate Joffrey slightly, but she doesn't necessarily know what's going on. Theon learned a little bit more about his savior, who pretended to be an admirer and pretended to be working for his sister, and then just brought him right back to the place where he was imprisoned. And it's a real tragic story. Theon, of all the characters, is suffering from the most tragic story, or one of the most tragic stories, in that he gets a chance to admit that, like, I chose against the Starks and it was a mistake. I went with my father and it seems like he's left me out here to die. And my sister has no interest in helping me. And no sooner is he able to confess that for all of us to hear than he gets turned back over by this guy who was pretending to be his savior. And I don't necessarily understand why that guy took him out of there, sent him on his way, got him abducted again, saved him, and then just dragged him back. Like, that's just psychologically mean. Like, if you could have just left him there. And Jaime is one of the most unbelievably layered characters, in that I see him getting abused at the beginning of this episode. He's lost his hand. He's being tortured by the soldiers who are bringing him in. He tries to go down swinging. Tragic moment when he reaches for his sword with his stump hand. And I can't believe that I've come full circle on Jaime Lannister. Like, here's a guy who, again, tried to kill Bran because he was caught sleeping with his sister. And by season 3, episode 4, I actually feel sympathetic to him. And then, of course, we end with Dany turning the cards, of course, in a way that I guess we all sort of predicted she was going to. There's no way she was going to turn her dragon over. And the reveal is that she understands this guy's language, and she takes command of the Unsullied, and then turns them on their captors, the slave owner, Evil Ben Kingsley, who I don't know his name, and now he's a charred ruin. That's a recurring theme. People left in Dany's wake. You get locked in a vault, you're a warlock and you get burned by dragons, you're a manipulative slave trader and you get burned by dragons. Now Dany has an army and the means to get over to Westeros, and she still has her 3 dragons. So, again, people who have magic and people who have dragons, pretty formidable. So, some really exciting things. Dragons are loose. Magic seems to be building in the realm. And we will find out where things go as season 3 progresses. So, be sure to join me back here. Hit the subscribe button, turn on your notifications, and it will tell you every time that we post a new Game of Thrones reaction video here at CinemaBlend.